Update: my 68 female mother was given away for adoption. Now her 69 male, 72 male, and 65 female bio siblings are asking her to care for her 96 female bio mother. Original post: I, 35 female, grew up in the US, born and raised in Austin, Texas. My father, 70 male, is Canadian, and my mother is Greek. Every summer, we vacationed in Greece with my maternal grandparents. When I was 25, my parents retired and moved permanently to Greece after my mother inherited a house and a significant amount of money from her mother when she passed away. That's when things took a strange turn. During the last few months of my grandmother's life, my mom went to Greece to care for her, as she was no longer able to take care of herself. In her final days, my grandmother revealed a shocking secret: my mom was adopted. She wasn't the biological child of the parents who raised her. Instead, she was the daughter of my grandmother's cousin. Apparently, in Greece decades ago, it was common for struggling families with many children to give a baby to a relative who couldn't have kids. My mother was devastated. She grieved the fact that she never knew her real family and that no one ever told her. After my grandmother passed, she decided to move to Greece to reconnect with the biological family she never met. She traveled to the region where her biological mother lived and met her for the first time, along with 2 older brothers and a younger sister. Her oldest brother was especially emotional because he vaguely remembered the day they gave my mother away as a baby. But from the start, my mom was hurt that none of them had ever tried to find her. Their excuse was that she had moved to the US and it was difficult to track her down, while her biological mother said she had made a pact with her cousin, my adoptive grandmother, never to reveal the truth. The entire village had been told that my mom had died as a baby, so no one ever questioned it. For the past 10 years, my parents have lived in Greece, and my mom has built a close relationship with her siblings. However, her relationship with her biological mother has remained distant and formal. She never got over the fact that this woman kept all her other children but gave her away, likely because she was a girl. At the time, boys were valued more because they worked the fields and contributed to the family's income, whereas girls were seen as a burden. 2 years ago, I was able to move to Greece as well since the parents who raised my mom left her a sizable inheritance. It allowed us to live comfortably, and honestly, I preferred the lifestyle here. We live in a beautiful place near the capital, and life is peaceful. Now here's the issue. My mom's biological mother is now 96 years old and in very poor health. Her biological father passed away decades ago due to political circumstances. Her 2 older brothers, her sister lives abroad, have been taking care of their mother, but they are exhausted. Their wives are complaining, tensions are rising, and at a recent family gathering, they told my mom that she should also help take care of their mother because it's unfair that they are doing it alone. My father was furious when he heard this and told my mother to cut them off entirely. My mom refuses to take care of this woman. She doesn't love her, doesn't feel any emotional connection to her, and can't forgive her for abandoning her. My mom is not close to this woman, and of course, she has no legal claim to any inheritance from this family. However, she has truly enjoyed her relationship with her siblings and their children and doesn't want to lose that. She's feeling pressured though, and she's deeply upset by their demands. When I found out, I was livid. How dare these people ask this of my mother, knowing full well that she was abandoned and that no one even attempted to find her? I feel like they're manipulating her, and she's unable to see how unfair this is. I'm getting married in a month to my fiancé, who is Greek and fully supportive of me, and I am seriously considering uninviting all of them from the wedding. I want to send a clear message that we don't want contact with them anymore. However, my mother is hesitant. She doesn't want to escalate things, even though she's hurting. I feel like she's not as attached to these people as she thinks. She's mourning the idea of the family she never had, rather than truly loving these people. And I hate seeing her being taken advantage of. I always idealized Greece and the strong bonds of family, but now I see that's not always the case. I'm so disappointed by all of this. What would you do in this situation? Would you cut them off? Would you disinvite them from the wedding? How can I help my mother navigate this? Edit. I forgot to mention something I think is important. My mom suggested they find a senior care facility to put her biological mother in. She even offered to pay a quarter of the price. My biological uncles were offended because they said it was disrespectful to their mother to put her in a nursing home, another Greek thing. Although they are generally financially comfortable, a quarter for a good structure can mean 400 to 500 euros per person per month, which by Greek standards is enough. I think their idea of help is taking her biological mother home for a few months. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Your mom doesn't owe her anything, and her siblings are being unfair. Cutting them off completely might be extreme if she still values the relationship, but she should set firm boundaries. For the wedding, if their presence would stress you or your mom out, uninvite them. If you'd rather keep things neutral, that's fine too. Do what feels right for you both. Likely the sons are tired of taking care of mom, and I'm betting their wives are complaining the most. Wives are saying, "What is this new daughter doing? She should help." Heaven only knows how much help they think your mom should do. It is a slippery slope with no good outcome. Creating distance and firm boundaries between your mom and her new siblings is best. That's my thought exactly. I am having second thoughts, and surely some comments gave me some perspective, but that's my main thought. Where are this woman's grandkids? That woman had 3 kids that she kept. They all have spouses and kids. Why are they not stepping up? Why is it your mother that she gave away like a bag of bread, the one who has to now step forward and take care of this woman? That's another Greek thing, I suppose. My bio-uncles won't ask their children for help. Their whole life is dedicated to helping them, so it's not common for grandkids to take elders in and care for them. I avoid all of them, so I am not sure what their plans are. Their discussion happened only a few days ago, and my mom hasn't responded yet. But me and my dad are furious, and I don't like the idea of helping her in any way. Now for the update. First of all, thank you so much for all the responses to my previous post. I decided to share it with my mom and let her read your comments. She was really moved by these similar stories some of you shared. This led to a deep conversation between us. Over the past few years, my mom has learned a lot about her adoption. Unfortunately, my bio-grandma was not a good person. The wife of one of my bio-uncles, let's call her Maria, sat my mom down a few years ago and told her everything. Turns out, my bio-grandma was a very strict and spiteful woman who treated the people who worked for her horribly. She never wanted daughters and even tried to give away her other daughter, but that adoption fell through, so she kept her. My bio-aunt went through a really tough time growing up, and that's why she moved abroad. Her brothers never supported her the way they should have, and they even cheated her out of part of her inheritance. Maria is now thinking about leaving her husband since their kids are grown, and she doesn't want to stay married to a man she knows isn't a good person. As for my mom, she never felt a bond with her bio-mother. But after hearing everything from Maria, she's decided she doesn't want much contact at all. She knows exactly what kind of people her bio-brothers are, and never wanted a super close relationship with them. They're not in daily contact anyway. But she does feel attached to her nieces, nephews, and their wives. That's the main reason she hasn't cut ties completely. My mom has decided she will help financially, but won't take bio-grandma into her home. She's doing it mainly to support her bio-sister, who is under pressure from their brothers to care for their mother. My mom has tried to get closer to her bio-sister over the years, but her sister has kept her distance. She explained that she has deep trauma from growing up with their mother and wants to maintain some emotional space, but she's still happy they met. This past Christmas, my bio-aunt came to Greece and stayed at our house. I wasn't there because I was visiting friends in the Netherlands, but my mom and her sister spent time together, and it brought them closer. My aunt told my mom to cut off her brothers completely and even invited her to move to her country. She has made it clear she wants only a formal relationship with the rest of the family, except for my mom, whom she loves dearly. For the skeptics, my aunt is financially independent and comfortable. She has never asked my mom or anyone else for anything. I had no idea about most of this, because my mom didn't want me to see my uncles in a bad light. She still thinks she'll keep some minimal relationship with them, but she's especially close with a few of her nieces and nephews, and doesn't want to lose that. One of my cousins, Maria's son, even confided in my mom that he wants to cut ties with his father. When my bio uncle asked my mom for help, this cousin, who's only 25, pulled her aside and told her to stay away and not give them anything because they don't deserve it. That really got to me. It showed me that not everyone in this family is selfish or manipulative. I actually have a good relationship with this cousin. He gets along great with my fiancé since they work in the same field. After learning all this, I met up with him last night and we talked. He has moved out on his own, but still keeps some contact with his dad, mainly because he wants to wait until Maria leaves before cutting ties completely. He told me that his father and uncle inherited a lot of wealth and never really had to work. They started some businesses, but when they struggled, they took large sums of money from bio-grandma and other relatives. Now they've recovered and live comfortably, but they never paid back what they owe. My cousin is ashamed of his family's actions and doesn't want to be judged for them. He also believes they are trying to financially exploit my mom. Because he cares about her and really respects my parents, he warned them not to get involved. After everything, my parents and I made a decision. My mom will give one lump sum of money for her bio mother's care. Whether they put her in a nursing home or hire a caregiver is their problem. She will also have a final talk with her brothers to make it clear that she is not taking care of their mother because that woman was never a mother to her. When Maria manages to get divorced, which my parents want to support her through, we expect the relationship with the brothers to fall apart. My mom is still sad that she never found the ideal family she imagined, but she feels lucky to have her sister Maria and her nephew, whom she truly loves. As for the wedding, we decided to invite them to avoid unnecessary drama. That's the update for now. I truly appreciate all the comments and support. I feel sorry for those who have gone through similar painful experiences, and I hope no one has to go through this again. Lastly, I feel terrible for ever doubting my grandparents, the ones who actually raised my mom. They were amazing, kind, and compassionate people who helped so many others in the U.S. Everything they had was earned through hard work. I'm so grateful they adopted my mom, and I wish they had also taken in my aunt. Thank you again, everyone. P.S. Someone in the comments, probably a Greek, suggested that my bio-grandpa might have died for political reasons because he was fighting against the Nazis. Unfortunately, it was the exact opposite. My bio-grandparents were right-wing extremists at a time when the left-right conflict in Greece led to suffering and deaths. A lot of their wealth came from unethical means. Your mom really shouldn't give anything for the woman who gave her away. If she gives something, it should be small. The uncles benefited from her. They should be the ones responsible. While I agree it makes sense, she's doing it so her egg donor's sons get off her back. They're not going to use their own money because that would be kind of them. She's still being taken advantage of. They will ask for more money. It's always the same story. The brothers get money, and the one taking care of the elders is someone who has nothing to do with those swindlers. No, really, my mom knows what she's doing. She will give an amount of money if they agree to never ask her such a thing. The amount will be relatively small, around 3,000 euros, and she is ready to cut them off entirely if they ever mention anything again. It's not the ideal solution for me either, but I am glad my mother met Maria and I want her to be safe. The reason I came on here in the first place was the fact that I didn't want my mom to get hurt. Now I know she understands what types of people her bio brothers are, so I am okay with whatever decision she makes. Last story, refusing to let my kids see my mother after she sold the home I paid for. For nearly 9 years, I lived in and paid for a home, under the agreement that once it was paid off, my mother would transfer the title to me. The home was in her name, but I covered the mortgage, lot rent, and all expenses. I also put my own money into renovations and repairs, including new flooring, light fixtures, refinishing cabinets, replacing appliances, and fixing the oven. My mom originally bought the home in 2015, planning to leave her husband. When she changed her mind about the divorce, she offered it to me, saying it was a great way to invest my money into something for my future. I agreed and moved in, believing I was working toward ownership. The roof and her changing the terms. In 2022, my roof started leaking. I called my mom for advice, but she didn't know anyone who could do small repairs. My boyfriend at the time, who had roofing experience, helped me fix it, and I paid for all the materials. Later, she insisted on sending out someone she knew to check the roof. Since the home was in her name, I couldn't stop her. She then decided to have the entire roof replaced without my consent. When I asked about the cost, she brushed it off, saying, "Don't worry, God always provides." In early 2023, she suddenly demanded $3,000 for the roof, despite never discussing payment beforehand. I told her this felt unfair since I never agreed to it. I offered to make monthly payments, but she was furious. Her final ultimatum. By early 2024, I was less than $3,500 away from fully paying off the home. I was ready to be done with all the drama. But then in February 2024, my mom raised the roof cost by another $1,500, bringing it to $4,500, and added other random fees, telling me I had 1 week to pay over $20,000 or move out. I was stunned. I asked why, and all she said was, "The choice is yours to make. You just have to decide what path to take." No explanation, just an ultimatum. When I refused, she started making my life hell. In April 2024, she showed up unannounced and refused to leave until the police made her. At that point, I had no choice. I packed up my kids and moved out on May 1st, 2024. Not long after, she sold the home I had spent nearly a decade paying for, keeping all the money for herself. My family thinks I should move on. My family says I'm the bad guy for cutting her off and keeping her grandkids away. But my kids want nothing to do with her. They were old enough to understand what happened and felt just as betrayed as I did. To make things worse, she has been showing up uninvited to my kids' events and causing scenes. I'm now looking into legal options to keep her away, as I don't want her forcing her way back into their lives. My family says I should just move on because it's not worth losing family over. But I can't just forget about all the money I put into that home. It's been almost a year, and I am now seeking legal advice because I refuse to let her get away with it. I feel like I owe her nothing at this point, but my family keeps guilt-tripping me, saying I'm being too harsh. Now for the top advice. Screw what your family says. I saw on another Reddit post that moving on and keeping the peace translate to shut up and take the abuse so we can maintain the status quo. Your mother cheated you and your children out of a home you paid for and improved. Tell your mom the next time the kids will visit her, we'll be at her funeral. If the funeral is streamed, 'cause ain't no way she deserves to have those kids there in person. Unfortunately, it's difficult to piss on a grave through a live stream. Info: have you consulted with an attorney? I genuinely think, at a minimum, you would legally be entitled to your money back. You may be able to get more. Yes, I actually reached out to several local attorneys via email today and started requesting my bank statements going back to 2015. I guess that's what prompted me to make these posts. I just wanted some support moving forward, since I have none from my family. It's been a really isolating situation, and hearing that others see my side has been helpful. Great work in making a sensible decision to involve an attorney. You are very much in the right. Your mother needs to be cut off. You don't need that kind of crazy in your life, nor do your kids. You are clearly showing them how a parent should behave, which is the opposite of what you have experienced. The sooner you move on from your mother completely, the better your life will be.